I meet lots of interesting people who I want to help, and the best way for me to give back is to quickly share who they're helping professionally and who they wish they could privately or philanthropically help more. And I help you by keeping the interview short and sweet. People in my circle can pick and choose who to directly and indirectly help with their business or charitable contributions. Who are you helping? Don't forget to subscribe or follow me on YouTube and TikTok so they start paying me to do more content like this. Let's get started. Hey, how's it going? I'm Dan Fredenberg, and this is for Who Are You Helping? Sometimes people come up in my circle, and I'm like, I think I can do business with you. I'm not 100% sure, but to make sure that neither one of us walk away empty-handed, I share the entire thing with you. And the idea is that way you know who my guest helps and how you can help them. But before we get too excited about things today, I'm joined with Troy Tucker. How you doing today, Troy?
Great. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Excellent, excellent. And I got to tell you, I'm really excited because today my very favorite member of the audience is joining us. And what we're up to here, the main idea, the first question is who do you help professionally? And part of the idea there, it's part of the marketing service that I've had to help people with over the last 10 years or more. And the issue really, they call it messaging in marketing, which is how do you tell people what it is that you do, because there's somebody out there who on a somewhat frequent regular basis they give you money in return for doing something, and if I know what that thing is then I can tell you other people who are looking for that exact type of help. But Troy, before we get into the professional side of things, do you want to say a thing or two about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Troy Tucker. I'm the president and CEO of Blue Sky Business Resources. We're a middle market, lower middle market focused investment banking firm. And then I'm also a broker dealer for Rialto Wealth Equities, and I help people with invest through 1031 exchanges and then other ways into alternative investments. Those are primarily real estate related. There's opportunity zone funds we have as well as other options as well.
I love it. I love it. And so let's talk about that first question. Now, first of all, the reason why I wanted to have this show is because I realized that everywhere I live, I lived in Taiwan for 15 years, and in that time, I still was hearing shop local, even though I don't know if you know this about me, I'm from the internet. And so that means I'm usually not local to anywhere. It's important to support your local economy, but sometimes you have to pick some guy who's just on his computer on the other side of the world or something like that. And it hit me that there needs to be another way to choose the professionals that receive your business dollars when they're helping with your business. And I found a really effective way to make sure that you're choosing the right person is by figuring out who else they're helping. But first, just digging deeper into the professional side, you mentioned the 1031 exchanges. You mentioned that it's real estate based. So if we want to fence it in a little bit more as far as a customer avatar, I imagine we're talking people who have they've gotten fairly far in their careers, so they're going to be in their 40s or older. Do you want to color in the picture a little bit more for the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the, of course, everybody we work with has to be an accredited investor in our broker dealer world, right? So you have to have a net worth of at least $1 million or salary requirements. And so generally you are talking about successful people, and the people that, the investors looking at DSTs and these alternative investments are typically looking for ways to invest their money and not be actively engaged in the management of that capital. So, our typical investor is somebody in their, like you said, 40s to later in life, and they're tired of managing the terrible T's, right? The toilets, tenants, and trash, and all the stuff and responsibilities that come with that. DSTs are professionally managed, institutional grade real estate investments, and you invest your capital, you realize immediate cash flow out of it, monthly cash flow. Most of them utilize cost segregation tactics, and so the depreciation schedules are really ramped up. And as an investor, you share in that depreciation as well as interest expense if debt is required as part of the exchange. There are debt-free DSTs that are out there as well, so you don't have to worry about assuming debt if you're cash-free, debt-free in your investment. And so, we're looking for folks that are really not wanting to manage the real estate anymore, enjoy the benefits of the cash flow and the depreciation schedule. Really, most DST sponsors are really trying to get to a neutral position on the depreciation versus the cash flow. So you're really talking about, I'm going to use the word tax free, but you got to talk to your CPA about this, obviously, right? You need other professionals, right? And when you're analyzing these DSTs, you should have someone like me helping you with that. Look at them. We critically look at all of those through Rialto Wealth, which is my broker dealer. We have our own due diligence department, and so they thoroughly vet these sponsor opportunities that are out there. I think currently there are 90 plus DSTs active in the market in the United States. Rialto Wealth has around 20 of them, and it's because they have to go through our due diligence process. And then as a broker, I go through and look at them, and I'm looking for risk and versus reward, and the cash flow and all of those scenarios, and making sure that that's suitable for the investor that we're looking at.
I love it. I love it. So let's get to the next question, which is who do you wish you could help more? Back to that thing I was saying about shop local versus shopping from the internet. If you know who the secondary benefactor is of choosing a particular professional, then it makes that decision a whole lot easier. So Troy, it can be like some people they never really had the opportunity to spend enough time with their family, so that's ultimately what their goal is, and I do not want to downplay that even for 1 second. Now, of course, some of the overachievers I have on the show, they've got orphanages around the world, which of
Right.
course we'd all love to do, but like that requires a substantial financial backing before you're going to be doing that sort of philanthropy. But Troy, for you in particular, who do you wish you could help more, privately, philanthropically, professionally? Who is it?
Yeah, yeah. It's the accredited investors. I'm also an investment banker, Dan.
Mhm.
And so we work with privately held companies, and we want to see not only the business owner successfully exit their company, but I'm also interested in the employees that work for that company having a job and moving forward and having stability in their lives as well. So, we're big on helping everybody, and philanthropically, most of the business owners we work with, they're just what you said, driven, motivated. They've got to have a million things going on at any given time, most of these folks, right? And so, from that perspective, we actually have an organizational psychologist on our team because we need to help business owners prepare for that next stage of their life. And, this even goes into active real estate managers too, right? Because if you don't have that next thing you're going to do, you're going to find yourself bored and looking for things to do, or there's only so much golf, so much fishing, so much travel, and then that gets old, right? You got to have something else you can sink your teeth into and really be excited and motivated to do it. A lot of business owners and real estate investors, right? I mean, really running a multifamily real estate is a business. I mean, that is a business, right? And if you don't have something that fills that void, you're once again, you're going to be bored. And if it's philanthropic, that's great. I'd love to see that. We can help people set up different ideas and ways to manage that cash and capital and to go through that process. And so those are really the people we're trying to affect. Really, our ecosystem involves everybody in the United States, if you think about it, from my investment banking standpoint, if I help a business owner successfully exit their business and that business survives, then all the people in that ecosystem continue to have jobs and continue to provide for their families and live the lives that they've dreamed and made up for themselves. And so realistically, when I think about it, the swath is large. It's huge of the people that we can affect and the people that we can help. And so, that's who we're trying to help is real. And I know this is a huge picture, but it really is that for me when I think about Blue Sky and what we're trying to achieve and what we're trying to do.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it reminds me of a saying, which is that my wife and I we didn't realize how how much of a problem money is until it stopped being a problem. And once it was just like this voice, hey, like all of that friction, it just, it's a really amazing the difference it makes. So it can't be understated the role that smart financing has in a community. So that's very exciting. But my next question has to do with I like to imagine that you're on Santa's lap, or you find the magic lamp, the genie comes out, and but the genie, it's the members of the audience, and the question is, how can people help you, Troy?
Yeah, so uh, getting good connections with people that are smart, intelligent, and have goals and have desires, those, that I think that is the best help. Like, I know that we were introduced by Alice Yim, right? And she just jumped right in and she bought into Blue Sky and our vision and what we're trying to do. And she's made fantastic connections for me. So, listen, money at the end of the day makes the world go round, right? But it's connections and connecting with people. And for me, that's the biggest drive. If I can help somebody else, I'm way more interested in doing that because, I strongly believe in the theory that if you help enough people, then you'll get your needs met, right? And so I've always had this vision of the world that it's a giant pie. There's a ton of opportunities out there. And the more we can work with people and help people get where they want to go, then that's better for all of us. That's just been my theory in life and kind of a motto credo that I followed.
I love that. I remember Terry Crews said that the world is a kitchen and you can make your own pie. So
Right?
that way you don't have to always fight for your slice. But that's fantastic. And so anybody in the audience, they must be thinking, how do I reach out to help in those ways? I'll sandbag that for a second and talk about myself. I got this pretty distinct last name. It makes me really easy to find on social media, especially on LinkedIn, which is the platform where I spend most of my time because that's where people want to talk about business. Of course, if you also look me up on Amazon.com, you can find my books that I have available that are on different skill building and business related skills. You can check that out. But Troy, is LinkedIn the best way, or is there a website, a phone, email? How should people in the audience reach out?
Yeah, absolutely. I am on LinkedIn. My last name is not as memorable as yours, Dan, but if you put a F where that T is on my last name, you'll remember it forever, right? So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
I am on LinkedIn. Blue Sky Business Resources is on LinkedIn as well. You can reach me on email. That's ttucker at blueskyadvisors.net. And our website has our contact information and phone numbers and all that great stuff. We have podcasts and we have a ton of material and resources available on our website. So, feel free to look at that, and that's blueskyadvisors.net.
Excellent, excellent. And my last question is the hidden one. We already went over who Troy helps professionally, who he wishes he could help more, how people in the audience can help him, and how to reach out. But Troy, did you know that if the people in the audience click the great big ugly subscribe button that's down there, they can get rid of it for free? That helps me. Ding.
Great. I think everybody should hit that button now, man. Help Dan out.
For sure, and it's absolutely free. Full disclosure, what it does, if a whole whack of people end up hitting the button, then YouTube will actually start to pay for these videos instead of me. And I think that would be absolutely amazing. The trade-off to you, just so we're clear, my videos may show up on your list of suggestions. You can feel free to ignore those though, because quite frankly, I just appreciate the fact that you spent this time with me. Just like Troy, I appreciate you joining me today. This has been great.
Thank you, Dan, for having me, man. This has been wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
And maybe it's, oh, why did I see that?
Cool. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do.
I know what you're gonna do too, and
As you're talking, I'm like trying to. This is a perfect little game. I love it.
no, not that one.
I was actually like, uh-oh. I'm like, oh, no, okay.
And then you thought for a second, Emma, bad news, bad news.
I
Right.
see what you're doing, but I can't stop it.
You've absolutely pinned that one down.
Oh, yeah.
When did you take my queen? This is very distracting.
It's yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't like you so much, Dan. I'm just saying.
Finally, finally. I was wondering.
I really, let's be honest here. You'll probably never speak to me again. I'm just not coming back. I don't know.